Hello once again, this is Colin Sabrin from Winnipeg Financial Planning, and today I want to discuss splitting the farm if you have a farming child and two non-farming children. So I'll be going over an example, and I promise you that by the end of this video, you will not be satisfied. I won't be giving you a silver bullet today because it just doesn't exist. Every farm is different, as you know, but hopefully what you can take out of this is at least see how I start with clients, and then from there you can kind of take over and see where you would fit. So I'll begin with going over a scenario. So let's say we have a $5 million farm. And this farm family also has $1 million in non-farm assets. So a house, TFSAs, RXPs, etc. They have $500,000 in debt. And if they were to sell everything when they pass away, they'd have a tax bill of $250,000. So mom and dad here have a net worth at death, as it stands today, of $5.25 million. All right, so like I mentioned, they have 3 kids. They have 1 farming child and 2 non-farming children. So the first scenario, how you could split up this farm, is simply give the whole farm to the farming child. And then all you have left is $250,000. So you split that between your 2 non-farming children. The other scenario is you split this 3 ways. So that's the other extreme. So the farming child would receive $1.75 million. The non-farming children would also receive $1.75 million. So now we split your net worth, your assets, in 3. However, you might be looking at this and saying, well, the farming child now only has about 35% of the farm. Which is probably not ideal if you're going to be a farmer, only owning 35% of your farm, right? You probably can't make it at that. So those are the 2 extremes, and that's usually where I start. This is basically the minimum, and this is the maximum that non-farming children would receive. So now what you need to figure out is where's that sweet spot, and that comes back to the old what's fair is unequal. Okay, so there's a million different ways that we can go here, but the solution is often in the middle here somewhere, because I think most families would feel that it's a little bit unfair to leave $125,000 to the non-farming children when the farming child gets $5 million. However, leaving $1.75 million is quite a bit. Okay, so just to make sure that you guys are following, this equals $2.5 million, right? So in both scenarios, or $5.25 million, which is mom and dad's net worth. So let's just throw a scenario out there. And again, this isn't, I'm not saying you should do this, but just to kind of give you an idea of what could happen. Let's say it's super important for you that for the farming child to receive the full farm. So you really want that to happen. So let's say we have $5 million here for the farming child. And you look at it and you figure, you know what? I think $500,000 per non-farming children would be what I would consider fair. So let's leave them $500,000 each. So that sounds good. However, we have a bit of a problem here because when we add these 3 numbers up, we're at $6 million. While your estate is only at $5.25 million. Okay, so then basically we have a shortfall of $750,000, and then we jump into a conversation of how do we fund this shortfall? Do we buy life insurance? Does the farm take a loan out and pay out the 2 children? Does the farming child pay the children over the next 10 years or so? So again, there's a million different ways you can go. But for today's video, I just wanted to give you an idea of like basically a starting point. So usually what is fair is somewhere in the middle. And like I mentioned, this is only one example. You could do things, again, a million different ways. You could only give $4 million you can give $4 million of farmland in the farm, and then you have more assets here. So long story short, today I just want to get you thinking. If you're having troubles figuring out what is fair for your family, feel free to give me a call. I can kind of help give you some ideas what other farming families have done, and then you can kind of go from there. So once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.